Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dave with. What am I doing? I'm Mr. Cruiser this week. I'm on the Margarita at Sea, and I wanted to go over like my little towel animal there. That's kind of cute. That's going to be my only towel animal on this cruise, since it's only a two-nighter, and we just had the first night, and tonight is the second night, and tomorrow we get off the ship again. But anyways, I want to kind of go over a little bit of things that I observed while being on the Margarita at Ville cruise. This is my first time on this cruise line, and I'd have to say I'm fairly impressed so far, especially now with the return of cruising to full strength again. A lot of the other cruise lines are packed to the gills, over the gills, and this one seems to be a real nice way to take advantage of cruising, and you got a lot of opportunities and a lot of fluctuations in your schedule that you can have with this cruise. Just to give you a background, if you're not familiar with the Margarita at Ville sailing, it's 2 day or 3 days technically, but it's a 2-night sailing to Freeport, Bahamas. And there's a couple different options. You can just do the round trip and come back to Riviera Beach, is where their terminal is at, or you can disembark here. Like I saw some people getting off the ship this morning, and they're staying in a resort that Margaritaville promotes on their website. You can stay there for 2 days and then get back on the ship when the next ship comes into port 2 days from now, and then go back to Florida, which I'm going to be looking into that. They've got some pretty good rates. I mean, the whole trip is like $349 if you go that route. Plus there's port fees, so add another $100 onto that. But that's an option for, people that want to do little short cruises and get around to visit the Bahamas on a budget. So. But anyways, I want to go over some different items, and excuse me if I look down because I got them written down for the most part, because Lord knows I probably not, if I tried to remember it, I wouldn't remember it. So anyways, let's start with the embarkation day. The day before, I really didn't know what time to show up until I got an email the day before saying this was supposed to be a pretty crowded cruise, so we'd like these rooms to show up at this time and this time. So they told me my room number, I should be showing up at the port right around 1:30. So that's what I did, and it's a valet parking situation. When you get to the port, there is no free parking or surface parking. It's all valet parking. So it's basically, they charge you for the day you get there, and of course then the day you're gone, and then the day you get back they charge you for a full day of that. So it ends up costing you, it's $57 for that. So that's right out of your pocket before you even get out of the car. The process time was pretty good. I pulled into the parking area and was able to pay the gal for the $57 right on a mobile app, her mobile app, and you get a little valet card that you hang on to, and then I guess I'll find out when I get back there tomorrow morning. You turn that card in, and they bring back your car, and you're good to go. You just load your stuff up. But anyways, you pull in there, you just grab your suitcases and everything else that you want, and you get on the ship. Now you got the option of getting into, checking your baggage, but it's only a 2 day, and most people have just little carry-ons that they bring. So a lot of them, um, they'll just carry the bags on themselves. And it was late enough in the day. Boarding had already started at 10:30 in the morning, so there was a lot of people on board already. But by the time 1:30 rolled around, the rooms were ready, and I was able to basically go through check-in and walk on the ship and walk right to my room to drop my bags off and stuff. So that worked out great. I mean, that's what I prefer anyway, versus trying to, cart your luggage around. The check-in time was seamless and it was fast. It was, there was no wait time at all. You go in there, first thing you're running into is your metal detectors. They go through your bags. You're not allowed to bring any water or wine like you are on other ships. But yeah, they scan it, and then you go up an escalator up to, I think it's probably about the 3rd floor or something like that. And then you're getting in the line, and I barely stood still for a second, and I was being attended to, and they take your picture and issue your card, your room key to get in, and it was pretty good to go. And that was about 1:45. She said normally it's like 2 o'clock, but they got them done early, so it was like 1:45. And you can see, if you saw my other video, this room's it's not bad. For this ocean view, there's hardly any balconies on this except for the 10th floor, I think, maybe retrofit. And there's only a handful, but most of them are like this. Where you get a window view. And I'm on the 4th deck floor, so it's basically the bottom of the ship. Which, this ship, it's only, I think, as the crow flies, 86 miles it has to travel. So it's barely going maybe about 5 knots compared to most ships, when they head down to Mexico, they're going 20 knots. So, I mean, we're barely moving. And we get here so quick that what they do is they can't come right into port, so they'll basically drift outside the port for about until I think this morning it was like 6 o'clock, where they started moving the ship again. And it all worked out pretty good. I don't have a complaint at all. The food and everything has been, for the most part, great. That's probably a little bit better light on the subject, so you can see me. You can still see the port out there. You can see this is an active port. Freeport is basically you can see the ship way in the background there. There's ships coming and leaving, so it's an active port. As far as the cabin, it's to me, I think it's a great cabin. It's I got a king size bed to myself. It's basically 2 single mattresses sandwiched together, and it makes the king. I had a phenomenal night of sleep. I mean, I went to bed about 10:30, and usually I've been waking up a few times during the night to go to the bathroom and whatnot. But I didn't wake up until just about 6 o'clock this morning. So it was a solid, deep sleep. One thing I've noticed, when I came here yesterday, was there was no. I mean, you're on your own for the most part, and which is good. I'm a seasoned cruiser, as it were. But there's no letter to tell you this is what you expect to do here, and welcome here. But so they give you free access to get on their Wi-Fi, so you can go on their website, and then you have to know where to go on the website to find out the schedule and what's going on and this and that. So it takes a little bit of detective work to do it. They do have a little scan. You can see that little placard I got back here. It's a little scan deal that you can scan that, and it'll take you right to where you need to go. So I guess that's still a product of the pandemic, where so it works out pretty good. Bathroom is good. I think it's a little bit bigger size than most bathrooms. If you can see it in here, I think for the most part it's pretty good in here. It took a shower this morning. Gave me plenty of room to go in there, so I didn't mind it at all. The food is good. I mean, everybody goes up to the buffet. They got a number of specialty restaurants here, but for the most part, you're going to the buffet area to do this and that and grab something to eat. And I had to start out yesterday. I had a salad, put together a salad from the buffet, and then I went to Cheeseburger in Paradise to grab a hamburger. It wasn't bad. I had a hamburger and fries. And then for the evening, there is no reservation for dining in the main restaurant. It's called Finn's Restaurant, I believe. And you basically show up and they sit you, and there was plenty of room in there. You got a huge dining area, and had a number of different entrees on there. I'll show you some pictures here if I can remember to stick them in here. And then I had some type of a noodle main course, and then a key lime pie, sponge cake with ice cream. And hey, I'll tell you something else. I took my weight when before I got on the cruise here yesterday, and it was at 289. If I remember right, I'll put a snippet here. And I weighed myself this morning. It was 281. I lost 7 pounds in one day eating here. That's good. And then this morning, went upstairs, had breakfast. It was in the buffet area, and I forgot what they name their buffet area. I think it's Ocean View Buffet. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong here. And then they had an omelet station, so I had an omelet as well later on. And you got your standard stuff that they give you. You got your coffee and juice, and it wasn't a bad breakfast. I mean, people always gripe about food on cruise ships, but I think this is pretty good. Entertainment last night, after the dining, for supper, went over and there was a show at 7:30. It was called the Caribbean Heat Production Show, and very, very elaborate. I didn't think it was going to be so intense and elaborate for a 2-day cruise, basically. And I was really surprised. It was really good. It was about 45 minutes long, and they've got another production show tonight. They had two different showings of that last night. One at 7:30 and one at 9:30. And then I went to bed at 10:30. I was pretty pooped out for the day. But there's a different show tonight, so I'll let you know how that one goes later on tonight. Sleeping for the most part, like I say, I got a nice king-size bed here, and it was very comfortable. The only thing that I had with it was, the mattress split apart on it, where they connect it together to make it a king, which is no big deal. You just slide it back together. But if I was going to be on here a lot longer, I would put a mattress bridge in there that I have, but I didn't even bring that along because I was going to worry about it. But obviously, we're going at 5 knots. We're not busting through waves or anything. And it was fairly calm last night. The waves, hardly any waves. And the engine noise, just the low rumble, I think put you to sleep pretty quick. And then for the most part, we're smooth seas all night long. So, which is really surprising because there's that hurricane that's just Hurricane Franklin that just went through Puerto Rico, and it's heading due north, so it's not going to affect us at all. But I was kind of looking at that, and I was looking, oh geez, I was wondering what that hurricane's going to do, but we're pretty good. Some other observations we got. Like I mentioned, it's only 86 miles away from the mainland, so we don't have that far to go. So it's not that big of a deal. It's not like we're going down to Belize or anything like that, where it's a 2-day trip to get down there. And like I mentioned before, there were people that got off the ship today. You could see them, pushing their luggage or their carry-ons and taking it off the ship. So they're probably staying for the 2 days. And like I say, they got free Wi-Fi so you can use they don't have an app. You basically log into their website, and then they tell you where to go after that, and it'll tell you all the information that you're looking for. So, one thing interesting with this one is there is no muster drill for this ship. You need to go to your muster station, and for me that was my muster station number 3. There's 3 different stations up on deck 8, so you got to go up to deck 8, and mine was in the back of the casino, and I'm on deck 4, and usually I thought, oh no, they're going to shut down the elevators, like a real emergency, and tell you to hike the stairs. But we were able to take the elevator from 4 up to 9. It was deck 9 we got to go to, and it was about a half hour long. Didn't have to bring the life preservers that are in the cabin here, so that was good. So yesterday our sail away, I was on the ship at 1:30, and then our sail away was I think at 5:45, so it went off without a hitch, and we made it over here probably about 2-3 in the morning. Just going at 5 knots, just trying to do it. And I think that's going to be the same thing tomorrow. I'm kind of reading, either they're just going to go back out where they were floating this morning and stay there, and then head over to Florida, or may do a direct sailing right to Florida and then just float outside the port until I think 7 o'clock is our arrival tomorrow morning. But one thing here, there's not constant barrage of PA and announcements. It's basically, okay, we're here. The people that need to go here are on excursions. You need to go there, and I haven't heard anything since 10 o'clock, and it's almost noon right now. If you're looking for something to do here right in Freeport, there's not that much here. There's maybe a handful of vendors where Margarita docks, and I'm not even planning on getting off the ship, because I'm not going to buy anything. If anything, I'll just go up on deck and walk around the pool area and just see how many are out there. But I imagine we dropped off people, and I imagine there's probably going to be a few people getting on the ship, checking in and stuff, so. The other shop area that's directly across from us, that's where the Carnival and Royal Caribbean ships dock, and that's a bigger shopping area, but they don't open if we're the only one in port, just because maybe we just don't have enough people. This ship, it says, can hold 1,680 people, and so when like the Carnival Dream or they pull in, they're holding about twice as many, 3,000 guests. So it's worth for them to open that up. But for right now, like Senior Frogs, it is not open. So, but I think what I'm going to try next time, and I'm going to kind of look into it, is I was either going to do a back-to-back on this one, basically stay on the ship, or I'm thinking if the prices are pretty good, doing the sail over, getting off the ship and staying at a resort for 2 days, and then getting back on the ship and heading back to Florida. Like I say, the last price I saw on that, they were quoting $349. So add probably another $100 for port fees and stuff and tax, and it's probably going to be closer to $500. But $500 for 5 days, it's still cheaper than being in a hotel at $100 a night. So, and you get to be fed and entertained, and you get to go to the casino. But yeah, that's my general overview of the Margarita at sea. I like it. It's a nice ship. I wish in the future that they would be able to expand their ports and go to other ports in the area. But they might have a niche that they're doing here and staying with it this way. So that's going to wrap it up. That's my little spiel for day one on sailing on the Margaritaville at sea, a paradise. Appreciate you hanging along and watching, and we'll catch you again next time for day 2. Adios.